Alright, so with me finally having properly returned to the commentary community now that it's 2023, I thought that it might be a fun idea to talk about certain situations that went down last year while I wasn't really present in the community. Where retrospectively I'm like, you know, I don't think the wider commentary community got this one quite right. I'm talking about the kind of situations that are on the surface, like the Logan Paul drama for instance, where every commentary YouTuber kinda agrees that yeah, he's the one that fucked up here. Like there have been a lot of situations where everybody just kinda has a similar take that one person is in the wrong. But over the past year there have been a few in particular where I stand out as someone that actually disagrees, where I'm like, you know, I think the commentary community got this one wrong. So I'm gonna talk about the three main ones in this video. First of all, I am a bit confused about the fact that InternetAjay got cancelled and sort of thrown out of the commentary community for no real reason in my opinion. Like I felt that cancellation was definitely unjustified. So InternetAjay, for those who are unaware, is a commentary YouTuber who mainly releases rise and fall type of videos, where he explains the tale of some sort of internet personality who once rose to fame and notoriety, but then due to either falling into irrelevance or creating controversy and getting cancelled in the progress lost that fame again and over time faded into obscurity. That whole type of content was popularized by YouTuber SunnyV2 in mid 2020 and it's proven to be an effective way to farm a lot of clicks, cause people like Bill's YouTube for instance built their entire internet career of making these types of videos. And InternetAjay kind of did the same thing as he started creating content at the tail end of 2020 and relatively quickly during 2021 managed to gain over 200k subs. But then at the start of 2022 things went wrong for InternetAjay cause Turkey Tom, out of all people, decided to drop a video on him, and ever since that video released his socials have pretty much collapsed. Now for time's sake I will quickly summarize the main points of Turkey Tom's call out video here. He essentially accused AJ of not properly researching his videos, as well as of being a very insecure and just overall cringe person on Twitter, and of undeservingly making rise and fall videos on some people who haven't really fallen off yet. Okay, so let's focus on the first claim here first. So Turkey Tom's main reason for thinking InternetAjay's content is not well researched is because he leaves a lot of stuff out of his videos. Now he cites InternetAjay's video on Keemstar here as an example, because InternetAjay titled this video The Rise and Fall of Keemstar, but he didn't talk about any controversies regarding Keemstar from 2017 to 2019. Now I don't have a problem with him not including this in his video for one simple reason, that being that this is a rise and fall video, right? And in InternetAjay's mind, the rise of Keemstar stopped in 2017 and the fall off began in 2019. So that means according to him, between 2017 and 2019 he was kind of plateauing during the peak of his career. Now I don't agree with this timeline by the way, but if InternetAjay thinks this is when Keemstar was at his peak, then he doesn't need to include this in his rise and fall videos. People want to know how he rose to fame and how he eventually fell off, and most people will generally have a couple of months or even years where they're kind of stagnating while being at the top, you know? And I just fundamentally believe that if you're making a rise and fall video on someone, you don't need to be including this period of being on top. And Tom even compared him to Behind the Meme, who, if you don't know, was also a YouTuber that made simple videos for a just normie kind of audience. And I'm just like, I don't see the problem with that. If you want to make content that's easily digestible for the average person, then go make content for the average person, right? Like, I don't understand why people make it out to be such a bad thing to create that kind of content. Now his other argument that he was making videos on people who have not fallen off yet is like, again, I understand where Turkey Tom is coming from here, because Jay, for instance, made a rise and fall video on Dream, while at the time Dream was massively successful. But what I think is a misconception here is that Turkey Tom seems to think that rise and fall is only talking about numbers and relevance. But I believe that you can also do a rise and fall on someone's reputation, which was kind of what InternetAjay was going for here. At least that's what I believe. So for instance, from 2020 to 2021, Dream might have tripled his fanbase, right? But he also like quadrupled his hater base. So therefore, even though Dream is more successful now, more people hate him now. And that could be interpreted by someone as a fall off. For instance, if I were to ask people who they consider to be the most successful YouTuber, Leon Lush with 2 million subs and like 90% of people that watch his videos liking him. Or Nico Cado Avocado, who has 3.5 million subs, but 80% of people that watch him absolutely despise him and can't stand him as a person. Now most people will probably say that Leon Lush is more successful, and that's why I don't see a problem with InternetAjay thinking Dream fell off in 2021, because if you're looking at it from a reputation standpoint, then he kind of did. Now the Twitter argument I do somewhat understand at least, because InternetAjay was tweeting some really down bad stuff. Like this one here is pretty embarrassing for instance, but this one I think he was just trolling. Like I just honestly don't believe that he tweeted that in seriousness. I think that he tweeted that just to troll. Like no sane person would tweet this out unironically. I mean, I could be wrong here, but I think he was just trolling. Now this one here is also pretty bad, and oh yeah, that one should have stayed in the drafts. But still, like, I understand he's being cringe on Twitter, but then again, he's being cringe on Twitter. Like most people are cringe on Twitter. I don't really care about that all that much. If I saw these tweets, I would just mute him and that's it. Like I don't see why this has to be such a big deal. I also don't understand why we have to attack the guy's content that much. Like Turkey Tom said this in his video.
So from now on, when you people see this face, you should not see the face of a man who is making rise and fall videos. You should see a man consumed with insecurity to the point that he will do basically anything for one drop of pussy.
And I think you're just going way too hard on him. Like you're making Ajay sound like he couldn't be trusted to operate a toaster unsupervised. Like he's not even that bad in the grand scheme of things. Especially because he only started making content in 2020. Like Turkey Tom attacks him for this tweet, basically saying that he's taking way too long to make these videos because they're low effort and he should be making them faster. But in reality, I think that's an ignorant statement. Like he's just not that experienced. That's why it takes him longer to produce videos. At least at the time he wasn't that experienced. And that's also why he makes some cringy mistakes like this one.
It was truly more sus than a character from Among Us. First off, he was accused of sexually abusing.
Like, stuff is going to happen when you haven't been doing YouTube for that long and you are still trying to find your footing, and I can relate to this tweet honestly. Like, for those who are interested, I work as a bartender right now and I also get home and just start working on videos. It takes me hours to script and research, and then I also take multiple hours to edit simply because I haven't been on YouTube for that long. Someone like Turkey Tom, who's been making videos for I think at least 6 years, could probably get that same stuff done a lot faster. Anyway, now InternetAjay's channel is pulling way fewer views than it used to, mainly because a lot of people stopped watching him after Turkey Tom's video, and like I said, I just don't think the community should have gone this hard on him. Now the second thing that kind of pissed me off last year was just everything related to TheQuartering. Now TheQuartering is a commentary YouTuber that mainly focuses on SJW type of content. You know, some people might rightfully say he's someone that's still stuck in 2016, but he has nevertheless built himself a decent audience of over 1 million. Now there are some massive problems with TheQuartering's videos. My main issue is that he's calling everything woke and attempting to frame everyone as complete SJWs when he himself in reality isn't any better. And also his videos just generally lack any kind of substance or nuance. And to the commentary community's credit, a lot of videos have been made in the past year calling out and dunking on TheQuartering, but my problem with this is that these videos, with the exception of this awesome video made by WillyMacShow, were only made because TheQuartering did something stupid that wasn't even related to his content. So for instance, one time he decided to get drunk and just pee in his basement on stream.
My wife went out for pizza without me, and I'm angry about it. So I'm going to win this round, and I'm going to pee. If I don't win this round, I'm going to pee in my own basement.
12 seconds later.
Oh my god. I just peed in my basement.
Then he got drunk and embarrassed himself by trying to become the new CEO of Twitter once Elon Musk took over. Then he signed up to a live debate, but then chickened out in the last second by accusing his opponent of being a communist. Also recently he got drunk again and he decided to call out Keemstar for supporting trans rights. You know, it's a very weird situation, and he gets into these kind of situations every now and then, right? Now what this shows is that TheQuartering is a pathetic person in his private life, and he sometimes lets that shine through on the internet by him embarrassing himself in stupid fashion. Typically by getting drunk. But here's my problem with this, right? So people are always ready to dunk on TheQuartering for this, but then they never follow up on it. What I mean is that TheQuartering has an audience of like 90% casual viewers, just casual YouTube viewers that are only there to get their own opinions regurgitated back to them by TheQuartering. Now almost all of his fans are under the impression that he's just a right-leaning centrist that focuses on embarrassments in leftist media. Now why is that? Because that's what he claims to be, and most of his fans only watch a few videos every week. Obviously, because he uploads like 10 times a day, and you can also tell that no one actually cares about TheQuartering as a person, since every time he uploads something about himself and unrelated to woke media, that video then flops massively. And my problem is that there is no one here to stand up and be like an actual Quartering fact checker, besides random people on Twitter. Like, we all know that TheQuartering is a terrible commentary YouTuber who doesn't put any effort in his videos. So what someone should be doing is every week or so checking in on TheQuartering, watching his videos, and then uploading like a counter video exposing all of the misinformation he's deliberately spreading, and like taking TheQuartering's video tags or something so his fans will get recommended that video instead. Because that's the only way you're gonna make these casual fans, which is the majority of Quartering viewers, aware of him being a complete hypocrite and scumbag. And yeah, I just have a problem with so many commentary YouTubers being willing to dunk on him when he embarrasses himself on social media, but then seeing videos uploaded where he blatantly spreads misinformation and not being willing to call him out. Because that's the only way you're gonna bring someone down that uploads 10 videos a day, just through constant amounting public pressure, and no one seems to be willing to do that. Now the first thing that really pissed me off was the Tipster drama that happened during like May of last year. For those unaware, Tipster is a semi-well-known news YouTuber who does like news live streams every couple of days, and last year some woman came out with DMs showing that Tipster was being a massive creep to her, just sending very weird DMs. Some people were also saying it looked like he wanted to cheat on his wife, but I would not go that far. Anyways, he got exposed, and because of that he tried to leave the commentary community to become a Resident Evil streamer. But then he soon realized that no one actually gives a fuck about him as a person, so he returned to commentary and everyone accepted him back, essentially like nothing happened. And there's a few things that pissed me off about this. Now, firstly, people were acting like this was some sort of massive shock bombshell reveal that Tipster was being creepy with women in their DMs. And I'm like, how the fuck did you not see that coming? Like, take one look at Tipster, right? I'm gonna be honest. Just by looking at him and his setup and his whole background, I can tell you that he's a massive loser that definitely got bullied in school and has no proper social life, right? This is an overweight man in his 30s wearing sunglasses inside and an anime t-shirt while playing video games all day. So this is just some loser that got bullied in school and never grew out of it. I know that might sound harsh, but I'm just stating facts here. So why were all these commentary YouTubers treating this situation like it was this massive reveal for views? Like, just from looking at him, I can tell you that he's creepy with women. Because here's the problem, right? If you have someone that's a failure in real life and has no social life, and that person then gets famous on the internet, then he might try to get with women through the internet because he's unable to find any decent woman in real life. Because, you know, he's a massive loser and all that. So when I first heard of Tipster, I already knew that this guy had to be weird to women, right? Because this guy probably has zero understanding of social situations apart from the internet. Like, this is some fake gangster overweight alcoholic that talks about random shit online. Nothing more, nothing less. So why is it that people were turning this into a massive drama for views when every reasonable person could have seen this coming from a literal mile away? And then the second thing that pissed me off is how after some time passed, everyone welcomed Tipster back into the community like nothing happened. And it's like, either this was some massive bombshell that you genuinely did not see coming and that everyone should be surprised by, and therefore Tipster deserves to be exiled from the community, or this is a nothing burger. But you can't have both. You can't be making videos talking about how bad of a person Tipster is and then welcome him back a few months later. That's shady as fuck to me. And by the way, I did see this tweet by Tipster, and I might as well just talk about it since it pissed me off and we're on the topic of Tipster already. So there's this pattern going around that every single person who made content criticizing Tipster during literally any other time than when he got cancelled last year, for some reason had their careers ruined. Like, it's not even these 40 shows, there's also like, I think at least 2 more, and all of these people got their careers destroyed for one reason or another. But the reason had nothing to do with Tipster. Tipster wants these people to think like, oh, don't mess with me, everybody that criticized me turned out to be a horrible person and I wrecked their shit. When in reality, yeah, most of these people then also embarrassed themselves, but you did nothing to contribute to that. So stop pretending like these people getting their careers ruined has anything to do with you. And just for good measure, Tipster, you are a fat, alcoholic, lonely, leeching, lying shell of a man that makes garbage videos and live streams. And I think you probably cheated on your wife through the internet. There, I said it. Am I now the next one in line to get cancelled? Well, let's see about that anyway. So these were 3 situations that pissed me off in 2022, and yeah, that's about it. Drop a like in this video, and yeah, sub to the channel, and that's about it.
Already famous, Simpson became even more famous by starring in the Naked Gun trilogy. According to Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was considered for the role of the Terminator by James Cameron. Ironically, OJ would later become a Terminator in real life.